Welcome to The Women We Know. I'm your host, Stacey Ferguson, and this podcast is all about real conversations with the women in our lives who have stories worth sharing. Not the polished highlight reels, but the real moments, the challenges, the turning points, the courage, the growth, and the wisdom that comes from living a full life. My hope is that somewhere in these conversations, you'll hear something that reminds you that you're not alone and that the women around us are far more extraordinary than we sometimes realize. So wherever you are listening from, settle in, because these are the stories of the women we know. Welcome back to The Women We Know. I'm so excited to introduce you today to today's guest. Ashlee Bailey is a wife, a mum to 3 beautiful girls, and one of those women who just seems to have a pretty strong philosophy of fuck it, let's give it a go, which probably explains why her and her husband Tyrell have built a life that is full, chaotic, and always keeping them on their toes. Ash and I actually met completely by chance, though it feels like we've known each other for a lifetime. My daughter is best friends with Ash's niece, and our kids now go to the same school, and over the years our friendship has grown to the point where her and her family feel like our family. So much so my daughter and her girls affectionately refer to each other as fake cousins. Ash and her husband Tyrell own and run a lawn care business here in Townsville. Ash is raising 3 girls. She's currently studying accounting principles, and somewhere amongst all of that, she's also navigating what it means to live with rheumatoid arthritis after being diagnosed during her 3rd pregnancy. But I think what I love most about Ash is how easy she is to get along with, and that she's someone who just gets on with it. She's resilient. She's willing to give things a go. She's learning to accept help when she needs it, and she's building a life that she is genuinely really content in. So today we're going to talk about motherhood, identity, resilience, learning that we don't always have to do everything ourselves, and the woman underneath all of those roles. Ash, welcome to The Women We Know. I am so happy you're finally here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. That was lovely.
You are so welcome. Before we start, I like to start every episode with a bit of an icebreaker. So I get to ask everyone and get to get a bit of a look into your mind, I guess. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, gosh. Look, a few drinks, I would give anything a go. But singing is not one of my talents. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd be willing to put people through that. Up on stage, dancing, 100%, singing, not so much.
I feel like there's a bit of a story behind when you answered the question on the guest reflection guide. You mentioned Leona Lewis. Have you got a bit of a story that you want to share with us there?
Yeah. So this is why I don't think I should sing in front of people. So I was on night shift one night, and we used to listen to a lot of music, and Bleeding Love was on, and I was absolutely feeling myself just so I thought I was Leona Lewis. So I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to record myself to show everyone how good I am. Anyways, yeah, listened back, and I've never deleted something so fast in my life. It was horrendous, and I was so embarrassed. I'm not one to get embarrassed quickly. I was absolutely mortified at what I actually sound like. In my brain, I was great, but not so much. So, yeah, it's a kindness if I don't sing in front of everyone.
Oh, I love that though. I love the story, like the awareness that especially when you you watch it back and it's not anything that you expected.
No, I was like full confidence, just sky high. Absolutely shocked. So, yeah, awful, absolutely awful.
Oh, I love that. All right, let's get into it, Ash. So I think I mentioned in the start that we kind of met by chance. I was over the road at your sister-in-law's place, and we kind of met, and then we realized that our kids go to the same school, and then, school pickups have become a really lovely afternoon ritual, and it's a good way to kind of end a work day for me, but then also,
Absolutely.
yeah, the kids are often like, are you done? Are you done yet?
Yeah. Can we stop chatting now? No, I absolutely love it. It is a really lovely part of my day. I'm home with kids, so I don't get a lot of adult interaction apart from clients. So, yeah, it is beautiful, and so thankful that you came into our lives. And I feel like we were meant to meet at some point because, there were a few different points of connection there. So I really love our afternoon catch-ups.
Me too. I'm very grateful that you came into our lives as well. What I realized though, while I was getting ready for this conversation today, is that there's probably huge parts of your life that I probably know absolutely nothing about. I know even we've had breakfast recently and you've mentioned things. I'm like, hang on, wait a minute, what? So tell me, who was Ash before all of this, before being a wife, before the 3 girls, before the businesses, all the general chaos in your life?
Yeah, well, I can't believe we are so old. I feel
Well,
well, sorry, I don't mean to call you old, but myself, it's our 20-year, our 20-year high school reunion. Absolutely crazy that we've been adulting for 20 years. I still don't feel like I'm old enough to be doing this. But yeah, I've done many different things. I was a dance teacher for a long time. I grew up dancing. From that, I became a makeup artist, so I had a beauty salon, and I absolutely loved that. And then went into mining, and then we had Ken's. So I've done lots of different things.
So many different fields as well.
So many different fields. Yeah, and I feel like I love being creative. So the makeup, and I really loved that in that stage of life. And then, everything, I've really enjoyed doing everything. I remember when we lived in Cairns, our neighbour, he was a mechanic and he worked at the same place from his apprenticeship until retirement. And that just blew my mind because I was like, holy, I don't think, that's a long time doing the same thing. And so I feel like I'm definitely one of those people that just give anything a go and
wow.
try all things.
Wow. That blows my mind in a way opposite to how you were saying that the guy was at the same place for the same, like for his whole career. That, and then you're on the opposite end of the spectrum and putting your hands in all different pots and trying all different things, that kind of, I suppose you were just led to those things in that moment. What did you imagine being as a kid? Did you ever kind of imagine a career, or what was your vision of adulthood like?
So always wanted to be a mum. That was always everything, just kind of, I don't know, I never wanted to be a doctor or anything that lifelong career. Always wanted to be a mum, and always just, I don't know, very strong work ethic. My parents own a transport company. I don't know, nothing intrigued me long term. I never had that career.
Yeah, I feel that. I kind of was, I suppose, fell into the finance area for my work, and I've kind of just stayed there because that's where now I'm comfortable. So I feel that though. I didn't have a drive when I was growing up to work in finance, but that's where I've ended up, and that's where I feel comfortable now. But I love how you kind of didn't have that big vision to go anywhere, but you kind of like, well, I might go and try that now. I might go and try that now.
Absolutely. And I think the vision of being a mum was always the dream. So I think just seeing my parents, I feel like we probably always envisioned having a business so I could work from home whilst raising kids. That was probably something that always was a vision, to have that kind of setup when we got to this stage. But obviously no idea what kind of business that would be.
Yeah.
Probably just whatever, came about at the time, which is exactly what we've done.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Do you think that motherhood has been what you kind of imagined?
Yeah, I think so. It really has. I always envisioned just being with the kids and having multiple kids at home. It really has. Yeah, I really love it. It's obviously very challenging and all-consuming, but
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
What do you think has surprised you the most about being a mum and where you are now in your life?
Oh, goodness. Surprised me the most. How mums can function on like little sleep and doing all the things all the time. You know, I always see those reels about ADHD and stuff, and I'm like, is that just mumming or is that just
Yeah.
and I feel every mum I know is just incredible because just the things that mums are carrying every single day, just multiple things. It's incredible.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
We become really good at juggling, don't we?
Yeah. Definitely. And so many things, all the things, just like balancing emotions and all the physical things and all the logistical things and everything, but it's all the emotional things as well. Yeah, we're a real sounding board and it's overwhelming, but like so special that we get to have those connections in life too.
Yeah. What I feel like you are one of those mums that I get to look at and go, oh, she's just nailing it. You know, those kids are just growing up to be beautiful little humans. And I've only known them I met you when you were pregnant with your third. So, I've only known you for 3 years, but I'm just watching them grow into beautiful little humans. And I would love to know what part of motherhood do you find really easy?
Oh, well, thank you for saying that about the girls. They are beautiful little humans.
Or
Easy.
is there something that you go, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this, or I can hold a good conversation, or I can deal with the tantrums. Sometimes I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that we're good at. So I'd like to shine a light on that. I'd like you to shine a light on that.
Oh, goodness. I feel like I've always just kind of trusted my instincts with how I felt or how they're feeling in a moment. Oh, goodness. I don't know. Yeah, that's a really tricky question.
It is, and I
Yeah.
probably didn't warn you enough that I will ask questions that will make you reflect.
Yeah. I really try and hold space for them but then I also feel like by the end of the day that space becomes narrow, so sometimes not so patient, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I am very proud of the way perhaps maybe I model certain things. So when I see that kind of come back just in their natural behaviours with them, within each other as well, like if one of the girls is upset and the way the other two will comfort her, I am quite proud of that.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that comes through, quite strongly in their relationship as well, because it's been what they've seen from you and felt from you as well.
Yeah. And they all, I feel like respect is something and using kind words. And so, they obviously fight and stuff, but they're very kind to each other and they respect each other. So proud of that. That's something they've learned, I guess.
Do you think that when you became a mum, it changed you, or do you think that it just kind of brought out parts of you that were already there, kind of just waiting under the surface to show themselves?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially when I had my first daughter, I just felt like I stepped into me completely. I felt very confident in my abilities as a mum. I didn't really have that massive change of who I was and stuff like that. And even just being pregnant, I had really beautiful pregnancies and I felt so confident. That was probably one of the most confident I've ever felt in myself, in my body.
I like that. I think that that's really beautiful, because sometimes we hear that motherhood completely changes a person, but I love hearing when it doesn't as well. Like you've just kind of stayed the same, but the girls have just, slotted in nicely. And it's like you've always been a mum.
Yeah.
You've always struck me, and it always comes across that you're just someone who just gets on with things. You figure shit out and you give things a go. You kind of keep moving. And I'd love to know So explain a little bit about that to us. Like what is that mentality that you have that you just like, you know what, this is what I'm going to go for next, or this is what this is not working, so I'm going to move over here now. How do you, like, what is that mentality that you have?
I just feel like, when you're sitting there at 85, like, hopefully we all get there, and you look back and you go, oh, should I, shouldn't I? I feel like it's better to have given it a go and fail than to always sit there and wonder what it could have been or what it could have been like. So I just feel like if something feels right at the moment, I'm kind of a big believer in the universe as well. So I will manifest change, and I feel like I kind of look for signs. And there's been heaps of times as well, like Tyrell and I are pretty flippant. So we've done a lot of changes, moving, career changes, everything like that. And there's been times where we've tried to do something and it just felt like roadblock after roadblock, It was like, okay, well, that's not where we're kind of be moving towards at the time. So we just kind of take it as a challenge and give it a go. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I feel like once we've put the intention out there, and then things are falling into place and it just feels right. So yeah, give it a go, and it's been good. And I feel like that's added so much to us as people as well. Like we've done things and it's worked out, and that adds a little bit of confidence and like, okay, well, maybe we can do this. It's pretty cool. Keeps things exciting. Keeps everyone on their toes.
It sounds like it, but you also sound like you also are someone that kind of, obviously, like you said, a big believer in the universe, but you're quite in tune with listening if you're hitting up against roadblocks and maybe this isn't the path that you're supposed to be taking. So you're quite flexible to pivot and then get onto the path that feels less clunky and feels like it's supposed to be that way. So I love that. Do you think that you've always been someone that kind of has been in tune with that, or just is able to feel that, I guess, and feel the clunkiness and then go, this isn't right, I need to pivot, and obviously that's not where we need to be right now. Do you were you like that as a kid, or has it come at a later age after you met Ty maybe? Yeah,
I feel maybe not so much as a kid. I don't know. I feel like as a kid, you're just kind of doing what you're doing, and you don't have too much change to take. But I don't know. I feel like when I was finishing school, just different situations at the time and different people, I feel like over the years I've met so many different people that have shaped me in, good and maybe not so good ways, and learnt lessons and stuff like that too. So I feel like those experiences, as we get older, it's kind of like the bucket attitude gets stronger as you get older. And I feel like I have started to listen to myself more and my gut feelings. I feel like, I really trust my gut feelings and things like that. And obviously when you are listening intuitively and stuff like that too, you obviously have to make sure that from a logistical standpoint, it is going to work and you're going to have those things in place. I think that's backed up by work ethic and stuff as well. So, I think it's just a combination of all of those things that has gotten stronger the older I get, and probably the more confident in myself that we can do things. And
yeah, I feel like the question, what have we got to lose, kind of would probably be in your vocabulary a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And, that always comes back when we're old, and I think back and I'm like, okay, would I regret not giving it a go, or would I regret just wondering more? Like what are you gonna, you don't know until you give it a go,
Yeah. Ash, I feel like you mentioned in your guest reflection guide that your mum has been such a huge influence on who you've become. What did she teach you without actually sitting down and teaching you?
Oh, she is just, incredible. Like I said earlier, my parents have a transport company. I'm one of four, so she had 4 kids. My dad was rarely home, or, when he was home, he wasn't present. Just the things she did on just a day-to-day basis, managing 4 kids, and I danced 6 days a week, like in a town half an hour away. Like just, yeah, she was just incredible. Is a really, really strong role model. But she's so cruisy too. Like nothing was a problem. We always used to joke that we'd always send my little sister in and be like, hey, can we do this? And we wouldn't even have to finish the sentence. And mum would be like, yep. Like, it was just absolute, chaos, the things. And but she's just incredible. And modeling to us, you can have your business and you can do all these things, but at the end of the day, like, family's the most important stuff. And sorry, Emmy's just come out here.
That's okay.
She's like, me. Yeah, she's just, incredible. Yeah. The things she does and continues to be, and nothing. She definitely modeled that, just by being her, I guess.
Yeah. Do you see bits of your mum in yourself now, the way that you show up? Like, have you ever caught yourself doing something and being like, oh my God, I'm my mother? But maybe some people are like, oh my God, I'm my mother, but oh my God, I'm my mother, Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And look, definitely both. No, but no, definitely. And I'm very proud of that. I am very proud that I am a lot like my mother. Yeah.
What do you think that your mum gave you that now you get to give your girls?
Oh, just her time and her presence. She was kind of always available, even though she was so bloody busy doing all the things all the time. But her presence is the greatest gift, and something I really hope to give our girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I can see that in the way that you just show up for your girls as well. So I would be very proud of that.
Oh, thank you.
Ash, you are definitely someone who doesn't like things, you don't let things stop you, and you kind of just figure it out. And like we said before, you might feel that it's clunky, so then you just pivot a bit. So tell me, what happens when your body is the thing telling you actually you just can't push through it? Let's talk about your diagnosis with RA.
Yeah, so still really trying to accept it almost, because I still get incredibly frustrated when my body's not cooperating. But that was a really tricky time. I first got diagnosed, my first symptoms were 3 years ago now, and when my rheumatoid arthritis started presenting, it was very palindromic. So I thought I was going absolutely crazy because it's an invisible illness, and I even hate to say those words, but my right shoulder would be, I couldn't use my arm, I couldn't lift my arm, nothing, and then it'd be like that for 24 to 48 hours, and then it would move to another part of my body. So it was a really, weird time, a really sense of identity and stuff like that. Like, that was something that really challenged me, like, mentally. I would say I'm a pretty strong mentally person. But that was a really challenging time going with that. But it is what it is. So you just kind of get on with it.
Yeah, you always just that person, aren't you? You just just get on with it. It just is what it is.
Well, what can you do? I can't change anything. And at the time, I was getting so frustrated. I'd get so frustrated. And I remember saying to Tyrell, like, I'm not making this shit up. And he would be like, clearly you're not, like, it was, a really, really weird time. And I think, but in saying that as well, I did take a little while to get diagnosed, and going to the doctors, and my foot was like swollen and bright red, and my left finger was like much the same. And then I'd go back to the doctor and she'd be like, oh, wasn't it a skin thing? And it was just like, that frustrating part of sorting that out. But it did happen. So I was also pregnant at the time as well. So I think that was, obviously didn't help with emotions and all the
your
things
hormones
with
all
it.
over the place. And So
I was diagnosed 22 weeks pregnant. That's when it finally, got the official diagnosis.
And did it start before you were pregnant with Emmy? Like, did all the symptoms start before then? Or was it?
Yeah, so 3 months before. So So we have got it in the family, like I believe a great granddad or something had it. So yeah, just genetically predisposed to it. So not sure
Yeah.
what caused it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now that it's here to stay.
Yeah. Like you touched on the what it kind of how hard it was mentally. You used the word incapable when you were describing that time in your form, and that kind of really stood out to me because that's not a word that I would naturally associate with you, you know. So do you think
Yeah.
that the physical side of it was the hardest, or do you think that losing that sense of control, or maybe even the not knowing, what do you think like kind of was the hardest in those earlier period?
Yeah, probably both. The loss of control and almost like independence in some situations. Like I remember the pop tops for the kids,
Mm,
like the juices. Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't open them, like as a, what was I, 34-year-old, and I've always been, I grew up dancing. I've always been relatively fit. I was, you know, the person who, would carry all the grocery bags in, just out of sense of like, no, I can do it. And then just to have those little things, buckling the kids into their seatbelts, I would be almost in tears because my thumbs were like,
Mm,
yeah, it was just really, really hard and to feel so incapable. And also I think a lot of it too, the medications and stuff, I was probably not educated, and I was really scared of them. A lot of the narrative around the medications and you're immunocompromised, so you're going to get sick at the drop of a hat. If you get a cold, you'll end up in hospital. So a lot of that was really like terrifying for me, and
mm,
some of the side effects of the medications, I was just so worried and didn't want a bar of it. And my mentality at the time was, oh well, I can put up with a bit of joint pain, that's fine, but
yeah.
the fatigue, all of
Mm,
it. And yeah, like when I had Emmy, there was nights where I was trying to pick her up and I couldn't use my hand, so I'm using my forearms and just feeling so completely useless.
yeah.
That was really challenging. But I'm stubborn as well, so that didn't help.
You stubborn, no.
Oh, I just remember saying to my rheumatologist when I finally, there was one instance where I had, but stubborn again as well. We had this couch and I was like, no, I'm going to deep clean it. And Tara was like, just let me do it. And I was like, well, you're not going to do it right this second, so I'll just do it. So I cleaned it, sent myself into a full body flare.
Mm.
It was like every inch of me, like I couldn't open my mouth because I was flaring in my jaw and stuff. And
Oh.
I went over to the chemist to finally be like, okay, I'll take the medication. And anyways, I got there and I didn't have one of the forms. One of the forms was back home. And the guy that, the pharmacist was like, oh, do you have this one? And I just said like, no. And just burst into tears. Like I was in pharmacy absolutely crying my heart out. Like I had, my two older girls with me and they were just like, what is going on? Like I'm
Mm,
just sobbing in the chemist. But again, that was me just feeling like so incapable. I'd finally asked for help and then I couldn't, in that moment, I couldn't get it. But then the poor dude,
mm.
he felt so bad for me. He like just let me take it. But again, that is like, I'm also my own worst enemy with that as well, because I could have, just accepted help from medication
Yeah.
a lot sooner. But yeah, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah. You said
Yeah.
that one of the hardest parts was admitting that you needed help. Why do you think that that was so hard for you?
I don't know. I think it's just something that, I don't know, maybe like eldest daughter things. I don't know. I've just always been kind of someone that
Got
doesn't.
on with it, and then yeah. Do
Yeah,
you,
yep.
do
And
you
again, that's probably something that's modeled from my mum that maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. But that is a
yeah.
serious thing that, I have trouble with. And that's something that I've tried to model better for my girls as well, to ask for help, because
Yeah.
it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah. And do you think that as has gone on and you've practiced it a little bit more, you're becoming a little bit better at asking for help?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I
Yeah.
asked you for help yesterday and I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened? I helped you and that was it. Like that, there's no.
Exactly right. And the whole time I'm like, oh, well, what happens if she's got to go somewhere? Or, I just don't want to put people out, or I don't want to burden anyone. But so that's probably where it stems from. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And we're always in our head so much when it comes to asking for help. Like, what if this and what if that? And instead of just asking and then whatever comes next, what comes next, whether it's oh no, I can't right now, or yeah, I can. Well then,
Yeah, that's
we
exactly right.
we waste so much energy worrying what the other person's going to, if it's going to burden them when in reality,
Yeah.
most of your friends or most of the people that you ask for help are going to help anyway, or tell you if you're being a burden. Not tell you.
Absolutely.
I shouldn't say tell you, but they'll be quite honest, and if they can't do it, they can't do it. But we spend so much time worrying. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it comes back to like, well, it would make my life easier if I had the help right now. But at the end of the day, I can do it. So like, why don't I just do it? I think with that a lot of as well. We're like, well, I can do it. I just need to do it.
Yeah, but I also need to give myself some leeway sometimes, and honestly, where people can help, they are most willing to. So I think that we just need to get out of our own way sometimes and just ask.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think that actually needing help and then being able to ask for help and all of that has changed the way that you kind of think about strength and help and all of that? Do you think that modeled a different way of thinking for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just coming back to the girls as well, I don't want them to feel like how I have felt in the past. And I don't think asking for help is a weakness at all. But I don't know, is that like some deep-seated thing that's in me? But then it doesn't have to be like that. So I think that has definitely, like, having the girls and just, I really want to model to them, like, you can ask for help and you don't have to carry all these things and do all these things all the time. So that has definitely helped me to try and work on that and model that a little bit more, because, you can say all these things, but actions speak louder than words. So, that has definitely encouraged me to try and be better with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you've pretty much touched on what my sort of next question was, that what do you want your girls to learn from watching you, and what do you want them to know about being a woman that is okay with herself and okay with asking for help if needed, or resilience, or maybe trying new things, or trusting yourself, not taking life too seriously? What's something that you hope that they kind of learn from watching you, like you've kind of learned from watching your mum?
Yeah, just kind of all of what you mentioned, like nothing in life is super permanent. So if something doesn't feel good or right, or just make a change, and you don't have to be stuck in ways that feel or are hard or uncomfortable or things like that. I think sometimes change is very scary, and it can, I feel like sometimes we can give things more weight than what they necessarily carry. So I just really want them to be confident in themselves. I really want them to trust their gut instincts. I feel like, I don't know, as a society, like we do have these really strong gut instincts that we kind of stop listening to, maybe, as such, because there's so much influence, and I don't know, the world we live in now is so heavily influenced by so much all the time, especially for like kids growing up. I just really hope that they feel confident in themselves, and then they're what feels right for them. And if things are hard, if there's ways to change it, then I really hope they back themselves and lead a life that feels good for them and they're happy with.
Mm-hmm. I love that, and I hope that they get to listen to this one day and I think that they'll feel that from you anyway, just organically and naturally.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back from the emotional stuff for a minute because it kind of it pulls on my heartstrings so much. At the start of this episode, I kind of mentioned that you and Ty's, had this very strong "fuck it, let's do it" philosophy, and we've talked about it a bit at the start. I want to know what is the most ridiculous thing that you've ever decided to just give it a go?
Oh, mate. Probably, there's been many. So when the first time we sold our second house, we were living up in Atherton, and this kind of touches on like one of those moments too where, you're trying to do something. So we originally lived down in Townsville. We got made redundant from the jobs we were in. We moved back up home and, everything felt really good there. So I was pregnant with Katie, probably around 36 weeks. Tyrell's work changed. So his roster changed from week on, week off to Monday to Thursday. And at the time we were looking at places, up Tablelands and stuff, and nothing felt like it was falling into place. And so we kind of went, let's just move to Townsville. Let's just do it. Anyway, so we contacted our real estate agent. This was in COVID. So our house sold within 2 days.
Wow.
So we were like, holy shit, I am 37 weeks pregnant. Where are we going to end up? So we come down to Townsville for a weekend. We found our house. It was just, and I'm going to touch on like the manifesting again. I just pictured this like barren land, bushes, and that's just like this vision that kind of was in my head. Anyways, we come down, we looked at a few houses because we didn't know if we were going to rent, we were going to buy, because time was of the essence. And then we went and saw this house, and the one we ended up buying, and then we looked around and there was just this bushland, and I was like, yeah, this is where we're meant to be. It was empty. The sellers let us move in a week early, so it was just, everyone thought we were absolutely crazy because they're like, where are you having the baby? And we were like, I don't know, either Atherton, Townsville, or somewhere in between, who knows? let's just see how it goes. So yeah, we moved in, and then a week and 2 days later we had Katie at the hospital down in Townsville. So it all worked out. We were moved in. My mum and my sister helped me pack up their house in Atherton. Tyrell finished work and like unloaded the house down in Townsville here. So that was that was good. And then also with our kind of business, Tyrell was in the mines, and we just kind of just started thinking about starting a business or something like that to bring Tyrell kind of home. And he just found this ad for a lawn care business on Google, and he was like, what do you think about this? And I was like, yeah, that might actually be really good. So we looked into it, and then started a business. We sold our cars to get the money to buy in, and we copped a lot of flack about that one. A lot of people had very strong opinions because Katie was 6 months old at that time as well. So
wow.
We just kind of do things on a whim. And then our last house as well, we kind of just went, oh, maybe we should sell. And then 2 weeks later it was on the market and again sold. And it's just, I don't know. But absolutely crazy. And, even this afternoon I was like, I still feel tired, but I feel like we've made all these massive life changes constantly in the last couple of years. But I think it all comes back to, we do these things and it all just falls into place. So, it's, I feel like, it all falls into place. And that's the kind of reassurance that we go, okay, this is moving in a way that is meant to be. And then, we found this house, and this house just had so many of the things that we loved from previous times. And and this is the first time we've kind of felt like we're home. And so a lot of years of chaos, but it's led us to here, and here is pretty good. So that's good.
Yeah. I love that. And I think that you make it very clear that we're not supposed to just be one version of ourselves, or not supposed to just be here in this place where, there's options to go other places, and we don't just have to stick with what we think, even if we are 38 weeks pregnant, or,
Even if you're about to pop a baby out, it's fine. It will work out.
And it has, you've got your 3 girls, you're running a business, you're even studying accounting now. I would love to know, if you took away all of the practical stuff, money, time, responsibilities, what would you love to just have a crack at next?
Oh, I think I would probably go back into something creative. Like, if dance teaching wasn't in the afternoons to take away from my girls, I think I would really actually love to go back into that kind of, something creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
makeup,
that.
or, something creative, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I can picture you in the creative realm, and especially, like you said, with the teaching of other children. I think that that's somewhere that I could definitely picture you, as long as it wasn't taking time away from your family,
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a very important part for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest driver from not going into dance teaching, because it is every afternoon, Saturdays, and even makeup. I love doing wedding makeup, but that was every weekend. And I feel like when the season changes again, and when the girls are older and not requiring so much of me, then maybe I'll go back into those kinds of fields and do something like that again.
Yeah, I love that. What are you most proud of yourself that doesn't really have anything to do with what you do for everyone else, but what about just you? What are you most proud of?
Maybe that, I will try something. I'll back myself to make that work, or
you have that trust. Yeah.
I kind of believe in what I can do and what I'm capable of, and I'm willing to make it work. Probably that.
Yeah. And if you could sit down with a younger you, knowing everything you know now and everything about the woman that you've become, what would you tell younger Ash?
Girl, hold on. Get ready for, a lot of things. Maybe slow down a bit. Maybe that's what I would say.
Really, though?
Yeah, look, I say that. I say, like, I would love to just chill for a little bit. I can't chill. There's no chill. Yeah. But definitely going to be very big, very full, and very full of amazing things. But hold on.
I love that. Just hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Ash, you said something earlier about, and it might have been in your guide. You might not have said it earlier, actually, but you said about wanting women to know that nothing's permanent, that we can kind of change something. And I feel like we've touched on that through different pieces today, about trusting our instincts and our intuition and all of that sort of stuff. So if there is a woman listening today who kind of might be sitting in something that doesn't quite feel right, maybe feels a little bit clunky, what would you want her to know?
Trust yourself. I really believe that we have so many, like, beautiful, primal, almost instincts within ourselves. And I really want women just to trust that, trust their feelings, trust their gut instinct. And nothing is permanent. If something feels hard, not right, I feel like we can make changes. And whatever you relate this to, there's probably not as easy as just change. But I feel like, we can definitely work towards something that aligns with yourself and what feels good. And Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a important message, like just listening and trusting your gut. And if something is feeling clunky or heavy or something, then it's okay to pivot. It doesn't actually have to go that way if that's not the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, and actually I love that you said that it's okay to pivot. You know, I feel like sometimes you make decisions and it feels right at the time, but if that changes, that's okay. You know, you
Mm,
don't have to stay in something just because you feel others might, you know, think of you differently or judge you or whatever. That it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You just do what feels right for you. And yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's okay if things change.
yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah, I love that. And I think that just knowing that it is okay, especially like just remembering that, I suppose, is probably more so that things will turn out the way that they're supposed to turn out.
Yeah.
Um, Ash, who is a woman that you know deserves to be seen, celebrated, or heard?
Every woman I know. Um, absolutely every woman I know. Like I said earlier, everyone is just carrying all these things all the time, and it's actually incredible.
And I won't make you choose one because I do know how incredibly hard it would be to choose just one. See, look, I just started a podcast so I can celebrate all the women I know.
Yes. I see what you did there. It's amazing. Well,
No.
I could nominate because you know her also, my sister-in-law Stacey.
Yeah.
We could both work on her.
I love that, and she's definitely on my list there, so I can put a
Yeah.
nomination beside her name as well. That sounds fantastic.
Excellent.
Even more collateral.
Yeah, exactly. Pressure from both sides.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Ash, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground today from motherhood and your three girls and just trying to figure things out as you go and just the way that you just get on with it and like you said, hold on and just take the bull by its horns and take that direction or follow your gut. But then also being able to admit when you need a bit of help. And I love that your story is not a perfectly mapped out version. It's just you trying things, you changing directions, you building things, dealing with things that life's thrown at you that you didn't choose, and then still kind of just figuring it out as you go, but also making it look like it's exactly the way it's meant to go.
A hot mess. That's probably the way to describe it.
But you make it look luxurious. Like,
Oh, I love that. I'm glad it looks like that from the outside. Because it sure as shit isn't like that.
oh, I
Oh, it's
absolutely,
pretty funny.
I really love it. And I feel like if there are women that are listening to this at the moment that kind of feel like they're in a messy moment or like we keep going back to clunky or uncertain about things, I feel like they could just borrow a bit of your attitude, just give it a go, trust yourself, ask for help if you need it. And, I don't know, maybe remember that you don't have to take life so seriously all the time as well, because I feel like that
Absolutely.
that is probably something that you live by, maybe not deliberately. I don't know whether you do it deliberately, but it definitely comes across that way that, life doesn't have to be this serious road. We can kind of let loose a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ash, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and having this conversation with me. I'm so grateful that we kind of just randomly met one day at your sister-in-law's place. Even if our kids are just fake cousins, it feels like real family to me. And
Oh, gosh, don't say fake in front of Mackenzie.
oh yeah,
They are cousins, all right? Don't let biologics get in the way.
I love that because
Oh,
you feel like family to me. So
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding us that there really isn't just one right way to build a beautiful life. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much.
And that's a wrap on today's conversation with one of the women we know. If something in today's episode resonated with you, I'd love if you shared it with a woman in your life who might love it too. And don't forget to follow along so you never miss a conversation. And if there's a woman in your life that you know has a story worth sharing, I would love for you to nominate her at The Women We Know on Instagram or Facebook. Or shoot me an email at thewomenweknowpodcast@gmail.com. There's a dot in between each of the words, the.women.we.know.podcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening and being part of this community that celebrates her story, her resilience, her honesty, her triumph, her challenges, her life. We celebrate her.